Hello and welcome to vlog number 9. It took us a little bit longer this time. I think 3 weeks have gone by since our last update. But yeah, life happened. We all got sick. I think you can still hear it a little bit. But we still managed to do a whole bunch of odd jobs. We fixed the roof on one of our garages. We repaired some places on the roof of the actual house. And we spent quite a bit of time dealing with our garden, which turns out it grows very quickly now that it's, full summer weather. Anyway, let's take a look. So this double garage is one of the, outbuildings on the property that's actually in pretty good shape, but even here it desperately needs repairing. Right, so there's this large weight-bearing steel beam across the middle, which seems to be quite fine, but all of the wooden beams here, they are rotten. Some of them have been destroyed by ants, and they're definitely in no condition to keep holding up the roof. You can see here they're just falling apart. There's actually already standing water in some areas of the roof where we can see that it's sort of sunken down, and so we definitely need to deal with it right now. Here Dominic is just loosening the nails that connect the roof boarding to the wooden beam so we can remove it. And here it is, one of our steel beams. So we decided to place the new steel beam and remove the wooden one after it was already, secured in place, rather be on the careful side. And it was pretty heavy, but it was actually quite manageable with 3 of us. And there we go, 1 beam in place. 2 more to go. It was surprisingly hard to get those old beams down, especially considering that they're basically rotten. But they were nailed to the roof boarding and they were bolted to each other, so it was actually quite an effort. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. Hammered a board in between the 2 steel beams just to help raise the roof a little bit and correct the areas where the water had been collecting. Hello, spectator. Once again, projects made possible thanks to Oma and Opa. Anyways, I headed home with the kids, and Christoph and Dominic finished it off. They fixed the brickwork and plastered around where the new beams have been set in, and made sure that everything's nice and level.
A short information. So, in case you think we're just doing crazy things, That is not true. Never sing that. Church, stop singing that. Well, mostly we do super crazy things.
Aber nicht mit Schuhen.
We really just could not resist. And it was only a little bit wet. Obviously, there were also sunnier days, and Christophe and Dominique used some of them to repair our roof. So the roof is made of traditional stone shingles, and there's a lot of them that are damaged or have fallen off, and the whole roof is going to be redone next year anyway. They just used aluminum sheeting, nails, and silicone to make some temporary repairs until next year. Plating and redoing the roof is one of the few jobs we're going to have a professional do, and it's a good thing because honestly, with 55 degrees, our roof is quite steep. So from the sunniest days on top of the roof to pouring rain and digging holes, we decided to check out the foundation.
Is that the end of the concrete?
We decided to dig here on the right side where there's this little piece of house that doesn't exist anymore. We weren't really sure what we would find. I wanted to make sure we knew what we were dealing with when it comes to repairing the foundation, which is something we'll have to do this. I know that the original wood house burned down in the end of the 1920s and was rebuilt as it is right now. So we did find some parts of the old foundation, but nothing too unexpected. I can't say it was the most exciting Friday night of my life, but maybe it's like couples therapy, you know? Anyway, it makes you think twice about ever having to dig a grave. It's so much more work than you think. Anyways, I'm not sure the couples therapy aspect of things really worked because I was kind of excited that we found the lightning rod and Dominique did not share my sentiments.
Clean up, clean up.
Yep, Noah definitely knows how this is supposed to work. We spent a few days just cleaning up our yard. We mowed the lawn, we trimmed hedges, we took some limbs off trees. We cleaned up the rest of like the brush and the limbs and just like the logs lying around from when we actually fell a whole bunch of our trees several weeks ago, and it's just nice because it looks so much better now. received a whole bunch of documents from a variety of people, but these maps of the property we actually found in a cupboard, so that was cool. Anyway, here's the white house that we're renovating. Here's the totally broken villa, and this long one is the bowling alley. And yeah, the transfer station, electricity lines, those are all the lanterns that it connects along these paths. The cool thing is we know this entire area up at the front of the road is all cobblestone. And we've recently discovered that the rest of the paths that are kind of marked along the property, they've been grown over with grass, but they have really good gravel underneath them. And so this next clip is on one of these kind of roundabout paths. And we'd like to, restore some of them because they're just really nice little walks through the property.
Hello. Hi.
Anyways, when the men got going with the chainsaws, Emily and I went looking for a quieter job. And since all of our garbage is gone, all the old furniture and mattresses and stuff that we tossed out in the beginning, it all got picked up. I decided to free the rest of our cobblestone. And for anyone who's like, is that baby even okay? She is super comfy and she slept the whole time. So I've been meaning to get rid of this pile of scrap for so long. So one morning I just packed up the two babies and headed over and figured I'd just, quickly load it into the bus. Took a little longer than I thought, but anyway, I'm pretty stoked that all the, trash and junk is out of our yard. And just like that, it looks so much better. That really bugged me the last, weeks. This big pile of old furniture and all this other just cables and garbage and rubble. Anyway, now most of it's gone and it just feels so much better when we arrive. And it's obviously still a construction site, but it just doesn't look like a garbage dump. So there's one for the win. Next week, we're going to be back in the basement of the house, and we're just mostly working on the walls to start with. All of the old gyprock and mudding needs to come down. The old mortar from between the bricks needs repairing in a lot of places. The walls need repairing in a lot of places. So I guess it's going to be probably a dark and dirty week. See you next time.